I just watched Emilia Perez for the first time and it was a terrible movie. It was not good. And look, there's thousands of bad movies. They make like a couple every month. But Marmaduke didn't get 13 Oscar nominations. It does have a better audience score though. The record for most nominations of all time is 14. One less than what Emilia Perez got. Those movies were Titanic, La La Land, All About Eve, which was made before my parents were even born, so I've reached the statute of limitations to judge that one. Just because something is different does not make it good, or in this case, tolerable to the communities they make it about. I'll be talking about the inside, outside, and controversy surrounding this movie. Now you could be thinking, what gives you the right to talk about this film? You don't know the language, you're not a history buff, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, either does the director, and he wrote the thing. Let's begin with the plot. Spoilers ahead. The film is set in Mexico where the head of the cartel wants to get a sex change to become a woman. So he enlists a talented lawyer named Rita who is unhappy in the position of her firm, only defending criminals and doing all the work for a no-good boss. Now how they first meet is Rita's in the bathroom, then gets an anonymous phone call from him. Creepily, he knows a lot about her and where she is, and tells her to meet at an equally creepy newsstand. Instead of Rita going to the police or something logical, she just does what he says. And then she's kidnapped. As they say, common sense is not that common these days. And just like that, Rita is sitting across from the head of the cartel, Manitas. Now he wants Rita's help to become a woman, and to drive that point home, he drops out the tit old biddies. Rita goes and sees a boatload of plastic surgeons, one that can do the job and handle the sensitive information. So that's where this masterpiece comes from.
Men to woman, or woman to men.
Man to woman.
From penis to vagina.
She inevitably finds someone to do the surgery, and Manitas fakes his own death, so the only people that know he's alive is Rita and the surgeon. And he left a boatload of money to his wife and kids, and this was all for the cause to be reborn as Emilia Perez. Now 4 years skip by and Rita's just at a restaurant where she randomly shares a table with Emilia Perez. And this is the actual dialogue in the movie of how she finds out. Is it you? Bingo. Shit. Emilia has tracked down the lawyer because she wants to see her kids again. So Rita does her lawyer thing and somehow gets the widowed wife, Jessie, and the children to start living with the cousin of Manitas that they have never heard of. And when Emilia finally sees her kids again, oh my gosh, she goes ballistic with the smooches. Like you're meant to be her auntie. It's like a kiss on the first date, but you're leading with tongue. It's too much. Then Emilia goes on a little bit of a redemption arc, starting an organization that helps locate deceased family members from cartel and gang violence. And she can do this because she's trading with insider information. The third act of this film is a small battle between Jessie and Emilia. Jessie has a new boyfriend and she wants to marry him and start a new life with the kids. And Emilia is not wrapped with that idea. Emilia calls him a pimp and doesn't want her kids living with him. Jessie thinks she's overstepping and then gets physically assaulted by Emilia. So she runs away with the kids. Emilia freezes her assets because she still has control of the cartel accounts. Then without money, Jessie and her new boyfriend kidnap Emilia. So then it becomes a winner-takes-all shootout between Rita and her gang that she's assembled versus Jessie and her boyfriend and their gang, which really just results in Emilia, Jessie, and Jessie's boyfriend all dying. So in the end, Rita takes custody of the children because it's echoed throughout the film that she wants a family, and Emilia is remembered as an absolute saint. Now, despite this perfect script, we do have some problems here. My biggest one here is the idea of rebirth and changing who you are so you don't have to face the reality of your actions. We understand in this world they've built that the cartel is really bad news and thousands of lives have been lost because of it. And Manitas was pulling them strings. After the operation, it doesn't just wipe you of your crimes. And the first death was fake. So when everyone was saying, well, at least he got what he deserved. Wrong. They never in this whole film paid true retribution for their actions. Emilia Perez still lived the lavish millionaire lifestyle afterwards. But Kale, she really did die. Yeah, but she literally lives on as a symbol of good. I don't know their actual age, but they have at least 35 years of sins to pay for when they were the cartel boss. Then, even given 4.5 years as Emilia Perez, I believe that she's still karmically in the negative. Controlling the family you left, assaulting a woman, freezing your family's income, general dishonesty. And that's kind of my thinking there. But what hurts me the most is the film itself actually believes that Emilia Perez is good and tries so hard to make the audience forget what Benitez has done. And just the constant attempt to humanize this character is baffling. Oh, I miss my kids. Whose fault is that? She's taking my children away. You left them in the first place. My ex-wife loves someone else. So do you. Oh, I've been kidnapped. You literally did this to your best friend in the film. Yeah, what a sweetheart. Who would be crazy enough to like this person? Oh, wait. Rita learns to love her, and at the end of the film, even going to war for her, risking her own life. At the beginning of this film, Rita was unhappy with her current position being underutilized at a firm, helping and defending criminals with little pay. But at the end, she's defending and protecting an arguably worse criminal and still being underutilized. Did she change at all? Oh, the money. No, she is rich now. This movie is unfortunately a musical, which takes away from big moments in the film. When Rita gets a phone call from the leader of the cartel, that is meant to be a fearful moment. She's weighing up if it's even worth considering. Is she in danger? But no, she just sings about it with cleaning ladies. The film suffers from calling itself a musical. The singing is just not up to scratch. Like, I hate to compare it to Wicked, but how do you have these in the same category?
Lady, you know I only fix the body, skin, bones, but I will never fix the soul.
Be popular, I'll teach you the proper place when you talk to boys.
Suiza, las Caimán y otros lugares de los que solo usted y yo conoceremos.
I don't speak Spanish at all, despite what my Duolingo says, but even the English translations felt clunky. And that could just be the translation of language itself. Don't ride too hard on that point, it could just be me. Many fluent Spanish speakers said the dialogue in this movie just wasn't great. And I know that Selena had to relearn the language for this film. And when you don't have full understanding of what you're saying, or in this case singing, it makes it very hard to convey the right emotions. Now, I love Selena Gomez. I think she is a really talented singer and actress. But this movie does not make her look good. Her singing, I don't know if it was from direction or it was difficulties with the language. I felt it was just kind of flat. And I know Selena has pipes, like she has a powerful singing voice. But you had her doing karaoke. SNL did the Domingo sketch where they thought it'd be funny if Ariana Grande sang off key as like a parody. And it was funny. But the director saw that and was like, let's do that, but in Spanish. I could bring up more bad songs, but it just wasn't a musical. Like, when there was a song, the supporting cast would just freeze and the main character would sing about what they're doing or how they're feeling, and then it would resume. A lot of the time it had the vibe of a high school play. I felt like they made this film a musical just for the sake of making it a musical, because they're hot right now, they're getting awards, but it wasn't supporting the script. There's many videos that'll actually break down this controversy a lot better than myself, but here's what I can gather. Jacques Audiard, I feel, is just very arrogant in his approach to make this movie. Like, he thinks he has the Midas touch, or work on authenticity because he just makes art. He felt like he knew enough about Mexican culture, so he didn't have to investigate it at all. But then he also says things like, Spanish is a language of modest countries, developing countries, of the poor and immigrants. Bit of a hot take there. I think that's pretty wild when you want to depict a sensitive subject like cartel and gang violence. And to touch on it one more time, he doesn't speak Spanish. I don't know why you'd want to make a movie that you don't fully understand. It also, I think, doesn't paint a great picture for the trans community. The fact that you can just change your gender to make an evil man good, that's not how it works. It's simply hiding character development behind a minority. Like, you can't just be a super famous celebrity, then murder someone, change your gender, hope that no one remembers, and it all be fine, right? Right? Carla Sofia Gascon also has some pretty crazy opinions come out from old tweets. I swear, I think old tweets kill everyone. They were regarding the Muslim face, the LGBTIQ community, and George Floyd. Them past tweets now have been removed, and we got an apology from her. But Before you say it's okay, let's read that apology. I'm sorry, but I can no longer allow this campaign of hate and misfortune to affect either my family nor me anymore. So, at the request, I am closing my account on X. I have been threatened with death, insulted, abused, and harassed to the point of exhaustion. I have always used my social media as a diary, reflection, or notes to later create stories or characters, not as something that would be scrutinized down to the last of its 140 characters. Since sometimes I myself am not even aware of having written something negative, perhaps my words are not correct, many times due to ignorance or the pure mistake. I am only responsible for what I say, not what others say I say, or what others interpret from what I say. But if you want, you can continue attacking me as if I was responsible for hunger and wars in the world. I apologize again if I have ever offended anyone with my words in my life. I am only Carla Sofia Gascon, an actress who has reached where very few have, thanks to the effort and work, without stealing or harming anyone in the world, just trying to get them to live in peace, love and respect, something that seems to bother a lot of people in this world. It is clear that there is something very dark behind it, but I tell you something, the more you try and sink me, the stronger it will make me, the greater the victory will be. You can't do all these things at once. You can't play the victim while apologizing, while saying that it's not all your fault, while saying you're trying to make a character. They're your words. The words hurt people, so you need to own up to that rather than deflecting blame between all these different sources. I find, funnily enough, there's actually a link between Carla Sofia Gascon and her character, Emilia Perez, where they think that the good they're doing now outshines the darkness they've had in their past. And instead of owning up to that mistake, just kind of more focusing on what they're doing now. Now, there's just some scenes that I found in this film that I think are really noteworthy, and they didn't quite fit into the sections of the other parts of the video. Like when Jessie is singing in her bedroom about her past life, and then she goes into the wardrobe and she's transported into this weird, open, dark room with backup dancers, and the music changes sporadically, and then she goes back and it's normal, and then she goes back to the dancers, and it's like a nightclub in Step Up again. Then she picks up the phone and the angle is from the phone. She just starts dancing around with the angle on her phone. Yes, this is what we want to see in the film. And a quick one here. In the opening scene, Rita goes to the streets to, I don't know, write her defense case. Weird place to do it anyway. And then in the first musical number, someone just gets stabbed, like halfway through it, randomly. Like, is this the world we're trying to convince the audience is reality? Now, my favorite scene in the whole movie had me actually belly laughing. This woman comes into Emilia's office and she actually has a knife in her handbag because she feels it could be a setup for her husband, that obviously worked for the cartel, to come back and murder her. And then when she finds out it's fine that he's actually dead, she's relieved and she walks away down the stairs from Emilia's office. Emilia then looks out the window and says, "Hey, I knew you had a knife, but that's okay because I have a gun." And they both pull out their respective weapons in front of the whole factory, in front of everyone. What? If I was a worker, I would be thinking, what the hell is going on here? And someone obviously wins this fight. Now, the last scene that I must bring up is when Rita's on the phone to Jessie and Emilia. Just look at these backgrounds. What are they? Are they green screens? They just look so ugly. Close your eyes, imagine in your head that the film has 13 Oscar nominations. Then open your eyes. That's what you see. It's just ugly. That's pretty much all my thoughts on the movie there, and I'm still baffled to how it has 13 Oscar nominations. Like, I just think it's so crazy that the voting party didn't see the audience reaction to this. The interesting thing is, I think there is somewhat a salvageable movie in here. I think the premise itself is interesting. It was just executed so badly with such distaste that it overshadows everything in the film. Have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye. Subscribe.